All right, so we are going to talk about our materials for our STEM fair project. So you need to make sure that you have on your materials, you have a sticky note to show me where it is I need to grade, the date, the page number, and I will show you a checklist that I created for this entry. All right, our learning target is students will formulate a materials list for their STEM project. So here under Science Buddies, there's a couple of things that are very important when it comes to a materials list. So the first thing is, this is the question you're answering when you're creating a materials list. So what type of supplies, oh, let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. There we go. What type of supplies and equipment will you need to complete your science fair project? So you're answering this question and you're thinking about every single thing that you will need. The next piece of information is materials list must be as specific as possible. So we started off with describing this. And we talked about how you could describe, how you could describe it as a red cup. That is way too big. So we might say a red cup, but if we were to search red cup, we can come with, it shows different types of red cups. So we need to be as specific as possible. So a red plastic cup. And even more specific is the brand. So for us, we would put Solo, and then let's say it's 16 ounces, red plastic cup. And that would give us, give anyone who's trying to repeat the investigation would be able to repeat it using the exact same materials. Why is that in Spanish? The exact same materials that we used in our project. So what we had to do is we did have to create a list. So let me go ahead in here and I want to show you something real quick. All right, so we are going to look at this. This is the checklist that I have for the materials grading checklist. So your date is needed, and that's worth 5 points. And I even have that information on there. The page numbers are needed. And remember, it's for every page that you do, 5 points for that. You need a title, materials. This only has to be on the first page. So let me write that. And then we have our notes. That's what we got from the Science Buddies. And the 2 sentences that are from the Science Buddies are here. So once you have that written, that's worth 10 points. And what I'm telling the students to do is to check off once you have that particular item in your science notebook for your materials list. Then it says insert glued into your notebook. So here's the insert. This is an example of a STEM log. It also tells you when your assignment is due, which is on Friday. It again reiterates that materials need to be written as specific as possible. So for example, we have 3 identical flashlights, medium drain device. So it doesn't matter the type of flashlights because it won't affect the results, but they do have to be identical because you can't change more than one thing. AA size Duracell and Energizer batteries. So you see how specific it is. It says the size. It also says the brand that you need. So AA size heavy duty non-alkaline battery. So it goes specific. Now, things that aren't specific, like a kitchen timer, that's not going to affect the outcome of the investigation. So let's talk about what we would do, for example, in our I talked with the second group about their taco shell specifics. So we talked about the ground beef, and we did have to be specific because that can affect the outcome. So that would be one of your materials. Now, it doesn't matter what type of stovetop you use in order to cook your meat. The stovetop doesn't matter because you're just cooking the meat. So we can just simply write stovetop. Electricity, it doesn't matter what type of electricity. If you use wood, if you use gas, if you use electric. A colander, we talked about that to drain our meat because the ground beef does have oil in it. A stovetop pan, again, it does not matter the type of pan. You're just using it to cook. And then a utensil to move the meat around while you're cooking it. These are things, some of these things need very specific, like the ground beef and the non-stick spray, because those can affect the results. But these other ones are required to have in order to perform the investigation, but they won't change the outcome. So you don't have to be as specific. So for our projects, students need to be specific for my second class, specific with the taco shells. And the expectation is that you have the brand, the type, the weight, and details. All right, and for the first class, it's the masks. We need specifics. So again, it's the brand, the type, the weight, and then the details. So that is the expectation, and it's every single thing that you need in order to complete the investigation. So do not forget, you will need a STEM log. That is something we need, and you have to have something to write with. So these are all things, and I usually put it in a bullet list. I'm going to need a writing utensil. It doesn't matter what it is. This won't change the outcome of the STEM project. You're going to most likely need a table wherever we're doing the actual project. So you need to be very specific with regard to everything that you need. Again, this is due on the 3rd, Friday the 3rd, and you do have your checklist to be successful. The first class will get their checklist in the morning. I forgot to give it to them. I just want to thank everybody for watching and hope this video helps. Thanks for coming to my channel.